So looking forward to the rest of your campaign. It's running out through 20-something days as we head
27
forward.
days.
27
yes.
days
We're only
starting
on day 2.
There we go. So 25 more to go.
Yes.
How do people find out more about the campaign, and if they want to kind of speak back to accountability now, what do they do?
Well, we're running the campaign on Facebook, on Twitter, and of course the website has an item on it each day. Early in the morning each day, we are posting day by day the section of the Constitution of the day taken from the Bill of Rights, and we are seeking to provoke a little discussion around on Twitter, on Facebook, and even on our website, which has the ability to feedback. We are seeking to really conscientize people about the rights in the Bill of Rights. Far too many people have this wonderful Constitution at their disposal and they're not using it, which is an awful waste, because it is one of the best constitutions in the world. Our Bill of Rights is the state-of-the-art document. When one of the justices from the Supreme Court in America went to Egypt after the Arab Spring and was asked, what can we use out of the American Constitution to make Egypt a freer and better country? She said, no, don't waste your time with the American Constitution. It's more than 200 years old. Have a look at the South African Constitution. That's where you will get proper guidance if you are trying to establish a free society in which human rights are properly respected, and in which multi-party democracy under the rule of law holds sway.
It has an almost kind of holy document sort of feel to it, and the way that it's sometimes invoked by the judiciary or members of parliament, it's this sacrosanct thing. But I'm interested, you've spoken about the need for more knowledge and public information around the Constitution. Does that speak to a vacuum or a kind of fault on the part of the state in not allowing people to understand the processes behind the Constitution and their access to recourse through the Public Protector, through the Human Rights Commission?
You see, that long struggle for freedom has morphed into a struggle for power among politicians. And the struggle for freedom has been lost in many ways because of the power broking that goes on, because of the threat of capture of the state, because of the corruption. What we all need to know is that when the old South Africa ended, a parliamentary sovereignty ended. There was an authoritarian system in which we, the people, were passive subjects of the power of Parliament. When that system ended, the power of Parliament was handed over to the Constitution, not to the majority, but to the Constitution. The Constitution actually says in terms that any law or any conduct that is inconsistent with the Constitution is invalid, and it may be struck down by the Constitutional Court if challenged. So what we have now as ordinary citizens, who should no longer be passive subjects of an authoritarian regime, but should instead be active citizens participating in our new order, is the opportunity of holding politicians, public servants, and anybody in a position of power to account against the standards of the Constitution. So if anybody paints outside the lines when they are officially busy, then it is open to any person, you and me, and anybody on the street, to say, excuse me, what you're doing there infringes my human rights, and I'm taking you to court in order to let the court decide whether I'm right when I say that my human rights are infringed, or whether what you're doing is not actually painting outside the lines. Now that is an incredible power to give to the people. The people in South Africa are now actually at the apex of the power triangle, and the politicians are at the bottom. We have the right to say to politicians, behave in a manner which is consistent with the Constitution, on pain of having what you are doing, whether it is passing a new law or whether it is creating a new policy, which is just a form of conduct. You are obliged to stick to the rules that we the people created when we founded the new order back in 1994. Sure.